today I'm going to be doing a review on the website called Greengeeks.com. Now, I recently had a web hosting competition, and Greengeeks actually performed on the top 3 list against 16 different web hosting companies. So they perform among the best. Now, if you do decide to purchase Greengeeks, there is a link below. It's an affiliate link, so I do make a commission. But if you don't, that's okay. You know, I won't hate you. But first, let's talk about their pricing. We'll talk about their plans, and we'll go ahead and show you those results of how they beat 15 different other competitors. So I was very surprised. So right here, let's go and take a look at their plans right here. I'm gonna go and get my free domain right here. Wow, look at that. Someone actually bought that domain. Like, that is, who buys that domain? That is crazy. Let's see if someone took that. Okay, there we go. All right, we're good. So Greengeeks.com, they're based off like renewable energy. They have 24-hour customer support, and their plans are among some of the cheapest plans. So looking at their plans right here, you know, if you want to pay for a year, you're going to pay like $5.95 per month. Now, they do have a 3-year plan, which you're paying $3.95 a month. And I think I have a coupon code. It will be in the description below if I have one. But you do also get free SSLs. You get free domains as well. They have 24-hour customer support. They offer VPS, cloud, shared, and dedicated hosting. And they also offer 30-day money back. So if you're not happy about Greengeeks or it's just not working out for you, you do receive a 30-day money back guarantee. Now, first, let's talk about the results that I had with Greengeeks. So I actually performed this web hosting competition, and I was very surprised about the performance about Greengeeks. They perform among the best. In fact, they were a little faster than SiteGround, even though SiteGround is my official recommended hosting. So here you can see that their average load speed is around 2.7 seconds with their server response time at around 2.4 seconds. Now, if you want to compare this to HostGator.com, let's go ahead and take a look at HostGator.com. So here are the results from HostGator. Now, again, remember I compared all these hosting companies for 30 days to provide like truthful, accurate, non-biased results. And here we can kind of see InMotion Hosting as well. Their load speed was around 4.9 seconds. Companies like GoDaddy as well, 3.8 seconds. But when you look at Greengeeks.com, they perform the best from around 30 days. So they are, I do officially recommend them as a web hosting company. They're great. Their speeds are amazing. And if you're looking for web hosting and you want to switch to a different provider, I would highly recommend going with Greengeeks here. My top 3 hosting companies are Greengeeks, SiteGround, and NameHero.com because of their speeds and their support. They have great support, good customer service, free domain, free SSL. So go ahead and give Greengeeks a try. So I hope this video was helpful. I'm just doing this just to kind of promote this website because I feel like they're vastly underrated and they perform very well.
Hi, welcome to HostingHosted.com. Today I want to do a review on Greengeeks Web Hosting. Greengeeks Web Hosting is the world's #1 green energy web hosting service provider. It offers multiple features such as unlimited gigabytes of hosting space and bandwidth, unlimited MySQL databases, POP3 and IMAP, FTP, free domain and free site builder, professional 24/7 phone and email support, a 30-day money-back guarantee, and a 99.9% uptime guarantee. Whether you're new to web hosting or you want to move your existing website to the GreenHost service, Greengeeks are there to help you every step of the way. HostingHosted.com loves the planet Earth and wants to stay here forever, so we plead to you to save the planet, make it green by buying the world's #1 green web hosting offered by Greengeeks. Thank you for listening, and for more details, visit us on www.hostinghosted.com or visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/webhostingcube or visit our YouTube page at www.youtube.com/webhostingcube.
Okay, welcome. Today's January 14th, 2019, excuse me. I'm still saying 2018. So, hi, I'm Eduardo, and today we're going to be bringing you an interesting topic regarding GoDaddy. So, I personally don't like recommending the use of GoDaddy for anything. It doesn't matter whether it's email, hosting, or getting your domain. I say stay away from GoDaddy. Don't even touch it with a 10-foot pole. So, and today we're going to be bringing you a story as to one of the other many reasons why you shouldn't be using GoDaddy for anything really. But so over the weekend, a story broke where someone was having issues with their site. So let's go ahead and see if we can cover that. So obviously here, this is the GoDaddy site. Obviously you can get yourself a website within under an hour, as they say. You can get web hosting. Obviously they're known for their domains. You can get yourself a domain, email, all kinds of things. So this user over here on Twitter basically says, apparently a hosting provider is injecting its own JavaScript into customers' website. It's opt-out, by the way, he says. So and then he links to a blog post over here. And this blog post is written by Igor Kroman over on his blog. So he says, GoDaddy is sneakily injecting JavaScript into your website and how to stop it. So he basically goes and outlines the reason he discovered that GoDaddy was doing this. And then basically goes to show you how to opt out of this invasive invasiveness of GoDaddy tracking you and all those things. So he goes on and says, I recently started having issues in the admin interface of a website I run, and I decided to check the browser console to see if any errors were being displayed here. There were, and among them was an error stating that a JavaScript map file being loaded and failing that I did not recognize. This meant that the actual JavaScript file itself was already loaded via my website. This set off all sorts of alarms for me, and now I started to dig in further. So he goes on, try to fix some kind of little bug that he's having on his site, doesn't know what's going on, goes in there, checks, and he sees this error. And he's like, oh man, I think something's being injected here. I'm not sure what's going on. Did I get hacked? So that's kind of like his little thought process there. So he checks his file system for any suspicious files, and he says that there were none. He checks his source code, and he doesn't find anything there. But then he starts to realize that there's, in all his pages, there's a script being injected, between his HTML tags. And he gives the screenshot, or not screenshot, an actual code example of a script that was being injected. Then he says, of course, that comment in the script was a giveaway of what was going on, but I didn't immediately want to believe that the website host itself would be injecting a JavaScript script into my website without my consent. So obviously he was pretty upset about that. He felt that GoDaddy took a step too far. And then he says, turned out that's exactly what GoDaddy was doing. And they justified it by collecting metrics to improve performance. So that's the irony there. He was having issues with his site. But yeah, GoDaddy was injecting this code to try to improve the performance of his site. So it's kind of a bit ironic there. So then he goes on to explain what technology, the JavaScript that was being injected, what was it for, and he says there that it's used for real user metrics, as GoDaddy describes it. And basically, he goes on to explain that anybody who is a U.S. customer of GoDaddy basically gets opted in this automatically. So whenever you sign up for a service, specifically in this case, it was a web hosting, you are automatically, opted in to this service. But obviously, they do give you the chance to opt out. And then he goes on explaining, it gives you some good screenshots of how to opt out of this tracking. So he says here, I'm not against web host providers providing how their services are running. Using a technology like real user metrics is a great way to do it. But this is meant to be a passive technology that is invisible to the end user. Injecting JavaScript into pages being served is far from passive. And at least in my eyes, it's a violation of trust between the web host and its customer. And that's the key part there. That's the key part that I always keep going back to whenever I have a discussion of using GoDaddy or not. I don't trust them as a web hosting provider or any of their services because they do things like this. Or they've done several things in the past that they're not that great towards the users. They do it in the sense of trying to help you and try to improve services and things like that. But as you see here, it didn't quite work out that way. He went on to say that, actually the original bug that he was trying to squash ended up being something else. But through the process of trying to squash that bug, he discovered this, and he wrote up a pretty good blog post about it. So I also want to bring up real quick, if you ever have a sense of, moving away from a service that you feel maybe is not respecting your privacy and so on, there's this great site called switching.social. Basically, it says here, ethical and easy to use privacy conscious alternatives to, the current, big social networks or services that you may be using. So to start off here, there are a list of alternatives to Facebook and Twitter, alternatives to YouTube, alternatives to Gmail, alternatives to Chrome, Google Analytics, and so on. So they give you some great listings there of things you can switch over to if you don't agree with some of these practices that, for example, GoDaddy may be doing. So that's just my 2 cents on the topic. Again, it's one of the main reasons why I don't like recommending using GoDaddy. And again, their services are not that great. I always like to say you get what you pay for. So if you're paying for something cheap, you're more likely to get something cheap. But on top of that, then they're doing all this kind of pretty invasive user collection of metrics and things like that for you. So then they can probably resell. So it's kind of like they're double dipping there. So, what do you guys think on this issue? Do you guys use GoDaddy, or is this something that you're possibly going to move away? Another YouTuber over at the Linux Gamer, he made a great video regarding this as well, because someone pointed out that one of his sites was running on GoDaddy, and one of his sites also had this JavaScript being injected into it. And of course, he explains his reasoning for that, which is totally understandable. It happens that sometimes, we sign up for GoDaddy years ago and we still have that service. And but yeah, go ahead and check out his channel so you can figure out his explanation on that. And he gives a great explanation, quite justified, his reasonings. And but yeah, so it kind of gives you a different perspective of someone who's actually currently using GoDaddy and just happened to have this happen to them as well. So go ahead and check that out. I'll link that in the description. So hey guys, that'll be it for this week. So go ahead and subscribe for more stuff weekly. And I'll go ahead and be leaving you some affiliate links in the description. If you're currently using GoDaddy and you want to move away from GoDaddy, I'll go ahead and drop 2 links that I have, affiliate links. So it's just a quick way to help out the channel if you feel so. So the first one will be for DigitalOcean. You get a quick little, I believe it's $25 or $5 off for signing up other service. And the other one's for Greengeeks. It's another great hosting service that I use, and I highly recommend because they use renewable energies to power the service, which is pretty cool. So go ahead and drop those in there. You don't have to, you don't have to use them, but it's just something they're there to help out the channel a little bit. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.